We have a tendency to discipline our children when they misbehave. It's not right. We have a tendency to almost hope they misbehave so that we can discipline them and teach them a lesson. Not right. You discipline your children when they're good, and then you won't have to discipline bad behavior. So when you tell a child to make a bracha, and the child makes the bracha, you're happy. At least you didn't get into a fight. No, it's not good enough. He's making the bracha, but he skipped 2 words. You figure, well, better than nothing. Not good. That's not chinuch. The kid is making the bracha, but he's hanging upside down from the chair. No, that's not how you make a bracha. So if you discipline a child and you say, this is how you say Maida'ani, not lying down. The child might be resentful at the moment, but he will grow up and love it. If you discipline him when he misbehaves, he'll never love it. It's not lovable. That is the more chassidische approach to chinuch. You notice many of the stories that the Frierdiker Rebbe published from his chinuch, from his diary, are these kinds of stories. His father once said to him, I saw you share your candy with your friend, but it wasn't with your whole heart. Can you believe this? If you saw your child sharing your candy, you would be so proud of him. You wouldn't know what to say. The Rebbe said, yeah, you shared your candy, but that's not how you do it right. You do it with your whole heart. That's called chinuch. If you stop a child every time he misbehaves, that's called annoyance. It's not even chinuch. It's police work. Policemen don't educate. They're not mechanech anybody. So how do you raise a child? And raise is a good word. You raise them. You don't punish them. How do you raise a child? Now, I'm not saying that you don't have to punish a child or stop misbehavior. Of course you do. But that's just first aid. A child is misbehaving, you stop it as quickly as possible and let it go. That's not the opportunity for chinuch. Example. You say to a child, make a bracha. Put that away. And the child says, I don't want to. Why do I have to? I hate it. That's an opportunity for chinuch. Because you have the opportunity to say to the child, exactly right. Exactly. You don't want to, you hate it, you're not in the mood. But if you got to do something, you do it. It's perfect. So instead of being upset that the child said, I don't want to, instead of being upset that the child said no, it's perfect. That's called raising a child. You raise the child from what he already wants to do to what he should be able to do. So when a child says no, perfect. Not for punishment. So you say to the child, you don't want to do it, but you got to do what you're told. Why? Because doing what you're told is an art, not a punishment. You don't say, for example, you're going to do it because I'm your mother, and when I tell you to do something, you do it. That's not chinuch. That's intimidation. Chinuch means you were told to do something, you should do it. Doesn't matter. I told you, your father told you, the Rebbe told you, the Eibishter told you. If you're told to do something, you got to do it. So even if you don't want, you're not in the mood, you don't, that's true. But you got to do it. So basically what you're doing in chinuch is you're peeling the child away from his natural habits and liberating him to the ability to do what has to be done. It's a very good idea on many occasions, as often as possible, to show your child that there are things you don't want to do, but you do them. Don't say it, show it. So that the child knows that when he's told to do something, it's not punishment. You're not being a policeman, you're being the sergeant.